gotta be absolutely kidding me right now. You have to be kidding me. The fact that Edwin Diaz has signed with the Los Angeles Dodgers on a 3-year deal is absolutely insane. How are the Mets? I don't know what the AAV is. I don't know what the total value is, unless it's $150 million, which it's not going to be, or $120, which it's not going to be. How in the world do the Mets let Edwin Diaz walk, leave in free agency to the Los Angeles Dodgers on a 3-year deal? This is, my brain goes, you shouldn't be freaking out about a closer. A closer shouldn't be the end-all, be-all. But Edwin Diaz is the best closer in baseball, whether you guys want to believe it or not. He is, and if he's not, he's like the second or the third best. And for him to leave the Mets and go to the Dodgers, and now the Mets just have Devin Williams, that's an immediate downgrade for a team that didn't make the playoffs. A 3-year deal is crazy. How in the world are the Mets not in on a 3-year deal? There's no world where they should lose out on a 3-year deal. Oh my God, Edwin Diaz is so good, and he goes to the Dodgers. Their one weakness. The Dodgers' one weakness is that they didn't have bullpen. It's that they didn't have a bullpen, and now they have Edwin Diaz, who's, again, one of the best closers, if not the best closer in all of baseball. The Mets get worse. The Dodgers get better. The Dodgers won the World Series. I can't. This is why we have money. This is why Steve Cohen was supposed to be so great. We don't let these guys walk. We don't let them leave. A 3-year deal. 3 for $69? It just came out now. I'm reading the tweet now. 3 for $69 million. $23 million a year? Are we fucking serious right now? That's what we didn't sign Edwin Diaz to. Is this a joke? Is this a joke? $23 million a year? I'm live tweeting this. This is a sick joke. Embarrassing by the Mets. What the fuck? I'm sorry for, I'm cursing a lot. This is just absolutely embarrassing by the Mets to lose out on 3 years, $69 million for Edwin Diaz. You didn't want to pay him $69 million over the next 3 years. We're paying Devin Williams like $50. What? Oh my God, this is infuriating. What a horrible way to start off my day. Like, Kyle Schwarber signed with the Phillies. Okay, figured that was going to happen. I know the Mets were interested in Kyle Schwarber, but 5 years, $150. I can understand not wanting to give Kyle Schwarber 5 for $150 if you're the Mets, because you might want to go get Pete Alonso for a similar price. He's been here, whatever. Kyle Schwarber was always going back to the Phillies. To lose out on Edwin Diaz to the Los Angeles Dodgers, the best team in baseball, a team that you are directly going to have to go through if you want a chance at ever even coming close to the World Series, which the Mets, by the way, again, didn't make the playoffs. Oh my God. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. 3 years, $69 million, and he did not even come close to signing him. Did Edwin Diaz not want to be back? Did he not want to be on the Mets? Is that what we're missing here? Is that it? Because, okay, I guess maybe take off my Mets fan hat for a second. I've now given you about 4 minutes of me cursing and screaming and yelling about how the Mets are too cheap to sign Edwin Diaz for 3 years, $69 million. Maybe he didn't want to come back. Maybe he didn't want to be a New York Met. I don't know. I didn't get that vibe at all. It seems like it would be very confusing. 3 years, $69 million. Maybe we need more. Maybe we need more info. But, oh, my God. How does that happen? How do you not bring back Edwin Diaz for $369? How do you not bring back for $368? I'm sure he would have taken that from the Mets. Oh, God, this is horrible. This is horrible, horrible, horrible. And, again, it's over a closer. Pitches 1 inning every 2 days. He pitches in 60 games a year. But at the end of the day, for a New York Mets team that stunk last year, you're immediately getting worse. And it's now going to a team in the Los Angeles Dodgers, who is the best team in baseball, won the World Series. You guys know all about them. Their one issue was their bullpen, and they just locked down their bullpen for the next 3 years. This is crazy. This is nuts. Is there something we don't know? Is there something that I'm not thinking about? That this is not insane for the Mets? And then from the Dodgers' perspective, again, the money that they have is unbelievable, and it's crazy, and they spend it, and they should. I was really hoping the Mets would do the same thing. I mean, we did it with Juan Soto, but now we cheaped out on the closer, even though that's such a doable contract. That's crazy to me. They lost out on a 3-year deal. But for the Dodgers, you're getting Edwin Diaz, who, again, in my opinion, is the best closer in baseball. Doesn't matter if he's on the Mets, the Yankees, the Phillies, the Dodgers. It doesn't matter what team he was on. I would tell you that I think Edwin Diaz is the best closer in baseball, and if he's not, he's number 2 behind Mason Miller. Edwin Diaz strikes out about 35 to 40% of the batters he faces every single season. When you come to the plate, there's a pretty good chance you're going to strike out, and even just a few years ago, he struck out 50% of the batters that stepped up and took a plate appearance against him. He walks guys, but it doesn't matter because the strikeouts are so good. He strands so many runners. He had the couple bad years when the juice balls were there, but otherwise, Edwin Diaz has been cash money. And for a Dodgers team who just won the World Series without having any bullpen arms, now having Edwin Diaz who can get the final 3 to 6 outs in big games for you, it's like they just made the game even easier for them. They just got so much better. For a roster that doesn't have a lot of holes, if any, they addressed the biggest need, and that was the bullpen. And getting Edwin Diaz, 3 years, 69, I'm sick to my stomach as a Mets fan. That's absolutely embarrassing. This is embarrassing if you are the New York Mets. Oh, man. I mean, this is a different reaction video. It's a lot of like me looking at my phone. I hate it. It's bad content, I'm sure. But I'm giving you real, live, raw reaction. And the fact that Edwin Diaz is not on the Mets really sucks. Loved Edwin. He's been incredible. And for the Dodgers, oh my God, man. What are the Mets going to do? And the Dodgers, they're so ridiculously good. And I'm not even going to complain about them being good because I think every team in baseball should aspire to be the Dodgers. And if you have money, you should spend it. And I know not all teams can spend money like the Dodgers. I'm not talking about the Pirates. I'm not talking about the poor teams like the Reds and the Pirates. And I guess who else doesn't have money? The White Sox have money. It doesn't matter. Not part of the point. But if you have money, you should spend it. And it doesn't really matter. And this is one thing that I think we've all been concerned about with the Mets and David Stearns if you're part of the front office and your fan base. And this is one thing that I think a lot of teams or fans are concerned about with their teams in general is that sometimes these front offices try to thread the needle. And I think that one thing that the Dodgers have not done, and it's paid off, is they haven't tried to thread the needle. They've gone out, they have identified who the best players are, and they go and they give them the contracts to get those players. And it feels like, again, without knowing any of the news, without knowing any of the info of what the Mets have done on the back end in this negotiation, or even some of the other teams, even if you're the Blue Jays, probably a little upset that Edwin Diaz goes to LA instead of you, trying to thread the needle is probably what costs you. And I know we've seen some horrible contracts in the past because teams were being kind of a little loose with their money. But Edwin Diaz is an elite closer. You spend money and you take those chances on the best players in baseball. And at the closer position, there's maybe one, at most two, better guys than Edwin Diaz at finishing out games, at being closers. And the Dodgers said, we don't care. We saw a problem. We know that there is an elite option right now, and we're going to sign him. He is going to be our closer. Go into the bullpen now with Tanner Scott and all the other nonsense that they have in there. I'm sure they're going to grab a couple more arms too, because why not? This team's unbelievable. Like, Tanner Scott was their bad contract. That was the one where they probably should have tried to thread the needle a little bit more. But Edwin Diaz being as elite as he is, it's just, oh, this is unbelievable. I can't believe that this happened. Ouch, ouch, ouch. This is a horrible look for Steve Cohen and the New York Mets and David Stearns. Bad look for the organization. You went and tried to get a little cheap. It's a lot. It's the biggest AAV ever given out to a reliever. But truthfully, at the end of the day, I can't. Anyone who's telling you that this is fine, I think is stupid. Even if it's my friend James and we say this on the Mets Up podcast, I think we've lost the plot if we're saying that the Mets shouldn't have given that as too much money. I think we've lost the plot, and I think that this is a bad day. This is a sad day. It's a terrible day. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? I'm not even going to edit anything. I'm just going to leave this entire. It's going to be raw 9 minutes of me basically crying. And Dodgers fans in the comment section, I already can see it. And you're right. I am pissed. I am upset. I am not happy. This is bad. And I'm trying to think of what's next. Again, there's not really much to talk about with the Dodgers here because this is just a good move. This is just the best team in baseball getting the best closer in baseball. They're going to be better. Shocker. Crazy. Roki Sasaki's now definitely just going to be a starter. There's no way that they try and make him into a closer now. That would be stupid. Oh, my God, man. Oh, this hurts. This really, really hurts. I can't believe that they're going to be doing the trumpets in L.A. Oh, that's crazy. That's nuts. Oh, I don't like this. This got a bad feeling in my stomach. And the worst part of all of this, is that the Mets theoretically could have a good offseason without bringing back Edwin Diaz. You could go get Pete Alonso, and you could go get Cody Bellinger. And truthfully, that would probably help this team more. But the concept that the Mets weren't able at least to give Edwin Diaz the contract that he wanted to stay on the Mets when he'd been here, he's now going to LA, making that team better. That's the part that's really hard to swallow as a Mets fan. And I think if you're a fan of baseball too, just being like, really, like, I thought you guys had all this money. You couldn't go out and spend? I'm wondering what we don't know. There has to be something, right? There has to be something that we don't know. I'm going to quickly look through Twitter because surely we're missing something, right? Like for the Mets to not bring back Edwin Diaz on that contract, that's crazy. He has less saves than Armando Benitez in Mets history. That just doesn't even feel right. What a gut punch for the Mets today. You lose out on Schwarber. You don't bring back Edwin Diaz, and now their full attention goes to Robert Suarez and Pete Fairbanks. Like, you can't get me excited about that. I can't get excited about that. Everybody in the world has the right to make fun of the Mets for this one right now. Definitely won't be arguing with anybody. Just don't feel great about it. Don't love it. Don't love it one bit. $69 million 3 years, and the Mets didn't sign him $23 million a year. That's bad. That's such a bad look. Love to know what you guys are thinking down in the comment section below. Subscribe if you want to hear me talk more about Kyle Schwarber. I'm going to talk about it on the windup. Link will be in the description, so go subscribe down there to the windup. And if you want to hear a deeper, longer conversation about what's going on with the Mets, besides me just bitching and moaning about Edwin Diaz, check the link in the description to Mets Up. That's my Mets podcast for more info. I just wanted to give you initial reaction. I haven't had one of these in a long time, so this one sucks. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. And keep an eye out for all the content coming at you. I got a feeling we're not done even today for what could be happening. We'll see you guys then. Peace out.